All right, welcome back, Agriculture Economics. So we're going to wrap up this presentation by talking about a couple of other key terms that are going to reappear many, many times throughout our time together this semester. The first is scarcity, and some of us have probably heard of scarcity or something as scarce or rare in the past. Scarcity can broadly be defined, though, as when resources are limited. Scarcity forces people to decide how to use resources effectively. So when you're stranded on an island, or you're home alone for the weekend or whatnot, and you have those limited resources available, you have to ration them out and make sure that you're using them in the appropriate manner to help better serve you and the people that are around you. Okay, that's scarcity. Productivity is essentially the ability to use resources wisely. It's a particular study that we could have to make sure that we are using those resources in the best way possible. So I want you to think to yourself, why is scarcity a basic problem of economics? What issues must producers address to distribute resources? And why do producers study productivity? I want you to think through those questions. I'm not going to give you the answers here, but on your cheat sheet, I want you to write down maybe one sentence of a guess as to why we would study why scarcity is a problem, what issues producers address to distribute resources, and why producers study productivity. So kind of think about that and take note of the image over to the right. That is the pig principle. And we'll talk about that in a little bit later in the course, but just know that generally speaking, people prefer n+1 units of a good to n units of the same good. So people want more than what they actually need. So kind of think about that as you're crafting your answers to those three questions. So essentially, scarcity tells us that human wants are unlimited, but resources are not. The three questions that every economic system must answer are: what gets produced, how is it produced, and who gets what's produced? Every society has some system or mechanism that transforms that society's scarce resources into useful goods or services. And we'll talk a lot about that in the coming days. So those three basic questions are very important, and I want you to think about those from an American economy sense as well. Okay, so what gets produced, how is that item produced, and who gets what is produced? So kind of think about that. We're going to wrap up here by talking about opportunity costs, and we'll have a whole lesson on this here in the future, but I just wanted to briefly introduce this. Opportunity costs are the options you forego in making a decision. These are the tangible or intangible values of the next best option. So again, I want you to think about these three questions and respond to them on your cheat sheet. Why is sacrifice an important element of economic choice? So AKA, why is giving something up important in making choices? Number two, why might future production possibilities differ from current production possibilities? So why might things that are way ahead in the future, and how much, let's say how much cups of coffee we can produce in 2021, why might that number be different than what it is here in 2020? And lastly, if we produce French fries, what would be an example of an opportunity cost? So if I am the Ore-Ida company and I'm producing French fries, what would be an example of something that I am foregoing in doing that? Nearly all the basic decisions that characterize complex economies must also be made in a single-person economy. Constrained choice and scarcity are the basic concepts that apply to every society. And I really like the quote over onto the right by Zig Ziglar: every choice you make has an end result. And we'll see this here in this course. And you'll also notice that one decision or one policy or one tax or whatnot, that has a trickle-down effect on the American economy. And we will spend a lot of time analyzing that, talking about what the impacts it has on you and also on the agriculture, food, natural resources industry. So to wrap up, we have our learning targets again. And I like to review these. And if you cannot confidently do one of these items, then you can go back to the video presentation and relook at some of those concepts so you feel comfortable. So hopefully by now you can define economics in your own words. Remember, economics is the distribution of resources and allocation of resources when things are scarce. I can identify the factors of production and items I use on a regular basis. So again, natural resources, capital resources, human resources, entrepreneurship. And I can connect the concepts of scarcity and choice. We want a lot of things as Americans and as people, but unfortunately we cannot get everything. So that is where the idea of choice comes in. So there you have it. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know, and I will see you in the next video.